Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you guys enjoyed part 7 of What If Naruto Had Divine Divide / What If Naruto Was the White Dragon Emperor part 7. Alright, so here is with one of my new videos, and I am so excited to do this. I am ready. I have been waiting to do this for a long time, and let's just say this, guys. This What If is going to get really dark and really gory. So, yeah, just be ready for that. So, okay. The name of this What If is obviously, what if Eren Jaeger was, well, what if Eren Jaeger had the darkness? Or was the darkness host? So, now, again, I told you guys I was going to be explaining to you what the darkness is and be explaining its abilities to you. So, if you guys are wondering who you're seeing right here, this is the main character of the Darkness comic book series. This man's name is Jackie Estacado. He is a mafia crime boss. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Wait, he's a mafia crime boss. He has basically powers, and he's the main protagonist of his own series. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Wait, wouldn't he be an antagonist then? No, he's actually considered a protagonist. Even though, yes, he is a mafia crime boss, he has his own set of moral codes. So, like, he won't sell drugs to, like, little kids. Basically, anyone who's below the age of 18. And, you know, he won't sell it to women. Mainly, yeah, just mainly men. I mean, or, you know, other, you know, he might sell it to a few women who are actually working for him. But other than that, and of course, he's not afraid to kill people. But, like, it's kind of hard to say how, like, he basically, like, if he sees you as a threat to him or his mob, or his mafia family, like, he will take you out. So, now you guys are wondering, who or what is the darkness? Well, I'm glad you asked. Here, hold on, guys. Sorry about that, guys. So here is the darkness. He's basically the bringer of chaos and a vessel of iniquity. So, basically, the darkness is an ancient entity which passes from one human male to another human male. Hold on. Okay, so let me start that again. I'm sorry, guys. The darkness is an ancient entity which passes from one human male to another human male each generation. He is one of the two primal forces of the universe, as well as the original void before the coming of light. Now, and he is also the embodiment of chaos, evil, disorder, and darkness. Now, you may be wondering, okay, so he's basically a god. Yes, except he existed before the god. Now, yes, he existed for, you know, before basically God said, you know, let there be light, you know. And yes, I am referring to the Bible God. You know, if you read the Bible, you know, I read the Bible. I'm a Christian. But obviously, but anyway, that's besides the point. Now, the darkness is supposed to be an entity that existed before even God existed. So, he's basically older than God himself. And frankly, when God said, let there be light, and, you know, he started putting a planet here and a planet there, and then next, you know, he created humanity and cows, and yeah. And to say the least, the darkness was, frankly, he was ticked off. And when I mean ticked off, he wanted to basically destroy everything and slaughter everything, rip and basically screw anything that basically got in his way. So, the darkness resented God and became an enemy of heaven itself. Basically, but anyway, Jackie Estacado, like I was saying before, he is the current host of the darkness and used his powers in ways that no other vessel has ever has, making him the greatest and most powerful vessel of the darkness to right now. So that's just giving you a little bit inside of what the darkness is. So I am going to go straight to his abilities. Let me tell you the kind of personality the darkness has. The darkness is a formless force described more as it is a being, like it has a personality, but it's also power itself. It is at best an unfocused mind in need of a host to shape its personality. The heart of the darkness claimed the entity sees itself as being as humans feed it with their evil and drive it to seek chaos. But anyway, other than that, we're getting straight to the powers and abilities. Okay, so powers and abilities. The darkness is an elemental force of chaos and creation that bestows his host. All right, so yeah, if you guys are wondering how the darkness, obviously the darkness's gender is male because it refers it to him, and it is a he, and it has the voice of a dude, a voice of a boy, or a man, I should say, an evil man, and its host is only male. So basically only men can wield this power. But not just any man can wield the darkness. You have to be an evil man. Basically, your soul has to be pretty jacked up. Your mind has to be pretty screwed up in the head in order to gain the darkness. But anyway, the darkness bestows his host with nearly limitless demonic power, as well allows them access to an otherworldly dimension and control over the veritable legion of darklings who dwell there. Alright, so Eren, obviously, his gender is going to be male, even though his gender was already male to begin with. But so Grisha is obviously going to have this power, and obviously it's going to be passed down to Grisha. I mean, not Grisha, but Eren. So, now, I know what you guys are wondering. Okay, so if he's going to have this, basically, this god living inside of him, why the heck does he need a Titan? But you see, that's just another thing. The darkness likes to always get more power. The darkness has no mind of that, but anything that it basically sees as like if the darkness sees it as a disease to the host, then the darkness basically anything that will not benefit the host, the darkness, you could say the darkness acts as an immune system and basically casts it out, basically making the user immune to that. So but moving on, but I digress. So darklings are impish, deviant, base, and foul-mouthed servants, yes, they have a personality, of the darkness, created from necroplasmic materials, animated by the spirit of the darkness, and the darklings are the foot soldiers of the darkness host, serving and obeying his every whim, protecting him from harm and tending to his needs. The host communicates with the darkness through telepathy. Or he can, verbally just say, hey, kill them, or whatever. Able to give them commands and receive messages from across long distances, and the darkness host can see through the darkling's eyes and hear what they hear. So, yeah. This is what the darkling has. Superhuman physicality. Darklings are superhumanly strong, agile, resilient, fast, regardless of size. They are able to evolve to become stronger, bigger, and more vicious. They can scale sheer surfaces. Basically, that's like flat. Or basically, they can scale basically any kind of surface. It doesn't matter. They can climb it. All right, But anyway, they can jump several feet into the air. Their teeth and claws can basically rend steel, and many possess prehensile tails and large bat-like wings for flight. Many also have corrosive saliva or fiery breath, depending if the wielder wants them to have it or not. So, yeah, the Darklings are under his control, and the Darkness Host can summon as many as he wants, or he can create Darklings whenever he feels like it. Now, another thing that the Darkness Host has available to him is the Darkness Armor. Now, this is the signature ability of the Darkness, is the creation of an invulnerable, almost near indestructible, supernatural, mystical armor around the host. This armor basically augmentates everything. The host's strength, speed, endurance, making him, well, a literal powerhouse and challenge to even the most physically powerful of superhumans. Basically, with one punch, an armored Darkness Host basically made Jackie Estacado, when he was fighting against Superman, he made Superman bleed with one punch while in his armored form, that is. That lets you know. And even Batman himself has said that even a Kryptonian must question their strength before going up against. Like, you have to, like, basically, Batman said you want to question your sanity if you want to go into this. Because if you go into this fight, basically, there's a high chance you're going to come out dead. You're going to die if you go up against. Even Kryptonians wouldn't survive this. Because, remember, the darkness existed before even God himself. So, what does that tell you? Yeah, you should be scared. Like, I know I'm hyping him up, but the darkness is just so overpowered, and I love it. I love it. And if you ever heard his voice in the Darkness games, it's so evil, but it's so cool at the same time. Like, I want to play it for you guys, but I don't want YouTube to get this video copyrighted. So, like, if I could record the voice, like, I would do it, so that way you guys can listen to it, and it will, like, it sends chills down your bone, but you'll feel so good when you hear about it. Like, I'm sorry, guys. I'm geeking out. I'm geeking out. The nerd has to go back in. The nerd has to go back in. Oh, the geek has to calm down. I'm sorry, guys. I was just like totally geeking out right there. I'm sorry. But anyway, yeah, and he just has a lot of powers. Okay, guys. So the armor abilities. But now the appearance and the design of the armor, I'm sorry, guys. The appearance and the design of the armor is a reflection of the host's character. So, really, however the host sees the armor, how the armor should be, that's how it's gonna look. So, here's the abilities of the armor. It grants you invulnerability. The darkness armor is impervious to even the most destructive of conventional weapons, even holy, demonic, or mystical or mythical or anything like that. It's basically, yeah, Eren's going to be OP in this. I'm just letting you guys know he's going to be OP. That's it. Alright, so anyway, basically the most that a very destructive weapon can do is mainly just kind of really just incapacitate him, but nobody actually getting the chance to actually kill the darkness, because the darkness can also think for itself while the host is knocked out. So basically it can defend its host regardless if there's anything like that. But anyway, that's besides the point. Alright. So the armor also grants the host superhuman strength, basically supernatural strength. The armor basically increases the host's strength to the point of reaching levels on par with the most physically potent of superpowered beings, Batman, Superman. Now remember, Batman is a man who's in peak physical condition with a bench press capacity of 1,000 pounds. So, And again, Batman described the strength of the Darkness armor as infinitely stronger than himself. Basically, yeah, the the Darkness host, when he's in his armored form, has basically infinite strength. So yeah, Superman, good luck. You're screwed. Matter of fact, even Superman himself has even stated, like, hold on, I'll tell that when I get to his weaknesses. So hold on. While wearing the armor, Darkness host can become basically unstoppable. No man can stand against them, and even the strongest of superpowered beings must consider their strengths before facing an armored Darkness host. The armored host can lift cars with ease, bend steel, and break chains, and crush stone, and send grown men flying across the room or buildings, or basically anything, through a wall with just a slight touch, with the slightest touch. So basically, if you wanted to, you can charge up like power into your finger, flick him, boom, he's going through a lot of buildings. And I'm pretty sure after going through that many buildings and that much power at that incredible speed, yeah, you're most likely dead at that point. But anyway, he can uproot trees, restrain Eva, overpower Batman and demons, slaughter werewolves and vampires, lift 4,000-pound cars, tear apart a U.S. Marine tank, destroy Apache helicopters, and made Superman, remember, Superman, who's invulnerable unless you have kryptonite or you're using magic, made him bleed with one hit, as you guys can see right there. Superhuman, the armored also grants the host superhuman or supernatural speed, however you want to put it. To me, it's basically the same thing. The host can run in excess of 100 miles per hour while in the armor. Their reflexes are similarly accelerated, allowing them to deflect bullets with their wrists. In close distances, host can seem to appear and disappear from sight. So, yeah. They also have shape-shifting. The armor also grants the host shape-shifting capabilities. It can alter the appearance of the armor to perfectly mimic the appearance or voice of another, or on an advanced level, they can take on the forms of dragon-like creatures. So, yeah, guys, you're going to be seeing some dragons in Attack on Titan in this series. So, can also form wings that can manifest bat-like or feathered wings to allow him to fly at high-speed flight. Claws can grow razor-sharp talons at the end of their fingernails, sufficient to pierce human skulls easily. These skulls also aid in the adhering of sheer surfaces. So, yeah. Blades. The armor can form blades and spikes to slay opponents. Superhuman stamina. Basically, the armor energizes the host and allows him to remain active indefinitely without tire. Respiration protection. Now, this is also really cool and important. The armor basically supplies oxygen and protects the host from low oxygen environments such as outer space, underwater, or in a gas-filled room. So, yeah, that's good for Eren in this, and that's good for the host. So, yeah. Superhuman agility. The darkness also increases his host's agility, allowing them to jump over long distances, scale sheer surfaces, and perform amazing acrobatic and parkour feats. Superhuman senses. The darkness sharpens his sorry guys. Had to clear my throat. The darkness sharpens his host's senses of sight, hearing, and of course, Jackie was able to hear the Ulkanos song and see in detail while in captivity. The darkness grants... Alright, healing factor. The darkness bestows his host. The darkness bestows his host with amazing powers of self-healing. His advanced self-healing abilities also makes his host immune to basically every single earthly illness and all supernatural afflictions. So vampirism, lycanthropy, and etc. When Jackie Estacado was raised from hell by Tom Judge, the darkness reassembled like Jackie's body using only basically his jawbone and basically ashes scattered around. So yeah, basically it grants the host immortality. So yay! Yeah, Eren's not dying. I'm sorry, guys. Eren's not dying. Like, good luck. Titans are basically going to be fearing this man. Like, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Oh, guys, I'm going to enjoy this series, guys. I'm sorry. I know I'm geeking out. I'm sorry, guys, but I gotta do this. Okay. Anyway, shadow manipulation. The darkness is shadow and can create and mold it to his will. The darkness describes shadows as merely the imprint of our presence leaves on this plane of existence. Reactive adaptation. When Jackie was infected by the four horsemen of the apocalypse, the darkness acted like an immune system, creating antibodies and destroying the supernatural poison in Jackie's being. The Darklings began feeding on themselves to protect and relieve Jackie from the effects. So basically, yeah. Basically anything that the darkness sees as dangerous to the host, it will immediately react and adapt to that. So, like, if it's like too hot, like the darkness will adjust, like it will help the host adapt to that environment. So basically, he can also adapt. So yeah. And here's the darkness, what the darkness can do for the host, even when the host is not in his armor. So, tendrils. The darkness can form tendrils that can be used to tear enemies apart, destroy obstacles. The tendrils can extend to considerable lengths, and most likely as strong as the armored host. Demon heads. The darkness manifests itself in the form of an snake-like demon heads that can devour enemies and rip them apart. It can also create darkness constructs. The darkness can create various constructs out of the darkness and bend them to his will. The darkness also grants the host mystical abilities, which basically grants him magic. So, yeah. Teleportation, obviously. The host can travel anywhere, and the shadow. So, basically, as long as there's a shadow, he can teleport. And teleport to another shadow, so yeah. Immortality. The host of the darkness has the potential to live eternally, as time and death have no full dominion over them. So, yeah. Heightened senses. Certain senses are heightened, such as the ability to literally feel a person's footsteps from several yards away, even while underground. So yeah. Extrasensory perception. The host can occasionally perceive a person as they really are, beyond the glamour of humanity. Basically, a human could be, like, you can hide, like, your true nature, but, like, alright, so basically what this also does is, like, you see a person who acts good, who looks good, you know, and everybody thinks that they're a very good person, but underneath all of that fake goodness, there is something truly, basically the darkness can see your true self, basically, who you truly are under all of that goodness, as the darkness likes to call it. The darkness also has empathy. Now, this doesn't mean that he cares about his opponents. He could care less. He wants to rip them apart and eat their hearts. Yes, that's an actual thing. But empathy the host can interpret a person's emotions and thoughts. Basically, he can see why a person's feeling this way, and he can also read their minds. So, precognition, the host can see a person as they will be when they die and can instinctively know when or where and how that person will die. The darkness can also do reanimation. So, yeah, he basically created himself an undead army. And reanimate. The darkness can reanimate the dead as zombies. The darkness also has soul absorption. Oh, well, you look at that. Yeah, people are going to be dying a lot in this, so I'm just letting you guys know. The darkness can hold vast quantities of souls within its body, as well as expel them at will. Oh, God, man, I've been spending most of my time here talking about the darkness' ability, but he has so many abilities. Anyway, witchcraft negation. Basically, the darkness grants his host. The darkness grants his host to witchcraft negation. So basically, magic has no effect on the host of the darkness. And the darkness, let's just say this. He is extremely happy. His powers are so off the charts. I can see why he literally put, well, I guess you could say he made God scared of him. I can see why God was a little bit scared of him, but, you know, hey, guess what? I'm still here. Of course. But anyway. So, yeah. And he's also omnipresence. Well, you look at that. As the embodiment of darkness, he's everywhere. So, yeah, he can basically, as long as there's darkness, oh, yeah, he already knows what's happening. And, of course, his only weakness is strong light. And now, of course, when I mean strong light, you can't just, like, shine like a regular flashlight on him. No. I mean, this has to be, like, how should I say this? Like, it has to be a concentrated lighthouse. Yeah, basically, that's how it has to be. It has to basically be concentrated. A small, concentrated light equal to that of a lighthouse shining directly at the darkness. Now, this necessarily won't hurt the darkness. It'll just basically make him go back into the host and wait for the host to somehow disarm the light so the darkness can come back out. And, of course, the darkness will be angry, tearing that person to shreds. Literally. Like, not even joking. So, yeah. And basically, if a host, keyword if a host impregnates a woman, the spirit of the darkness is passed to the newly conceived child, and the host dies at the moment of his birth. But let's just say, for the sake, alright, like, here's how I'm going to do this. And here's the only way I am going to do this. Basically, Eren Kruger is going to, after Grisha dies, because Grisha will not be getting the Attack Titan, I'm going to say Eren Kruger had a few more years left on his life, so he never really passed it on to Grisha. Oh, and by the way, guys, yeah, the Curse of Ymir won't affect a host of the darkness, so guess what? Eren is staying right here for as long as he wants to, so, yeah. Anyway, hold on, guys. So, yeah, guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed that very long list of powers and abilities and origins of the darkness and the host. So remember, guys, the darkness's gender is male, which makes sense considering the darkness only chooses male hosts. So yeah, only men, guys, boys, males are allowed to wield the darkness. So yeah. And Eren is going to have fun with this power. But remember, so how I'm going to start. Our story will start off with Grisha. He is currently ahead, not only, now on the surface, it looks like he's a part of the Eldian Restoration. But underneath the surface, remember, Grisha is a darkness host, so what he does, he actually has a mafia family. And of course, Eren Kruger, the owl, is a part of that. He's actually Grisha's right-hand man. So, of course, Grisha has been working on advanced weaponry. So basically, he only has. So if you guys see the pistols that Jackie's holding, yeah, that's just as far as human society has been able to go. Now, of course, Eren Kruger is also inside the military because Grisha told him to stay in the military so that way he can get information and get ahead of everybody before they can act. So, because I'm going to say that the police have been having a hard time and the military have been having a hard time with Grisha's mafia family. And yes, it's just called the Jaeger crime family. So yes, Eren will also be basically a crime boss, same as Jackie Estacado. Because the Darkness also always chooses a male host who is in a position of power. Now, of course, Eren will be a new host, since, you know, but he also sticks to bloodlines. So Eren will be a new Darkness host. And of course, now remember, Eren Kruger will be taking, and I'm going to say his name is not Eren Kruger. It is actually, nah, I'm just going to say for plot's sake, let's just keep it Eren Kruger. So anyway, Eren, alright, so, anyway, the military police was able to get a tip from, because I'm going to say, one of the guys in Grisha's crime family didn't really like how Grisha was running things, so of course he decided to sell him out. And I know, guys, that easily the Darkness could have told Grisha what was happening, but in order for the plot to move on and for it to get the Darkness to get to Eren, remember, so this is obviously going to have to happen. So anyway, remember, Eren Kruger is not there at the raid, and Eren Kruger finds the guy who betrayed them, and of course he killed him by slitting his throat and gutting him and leaving him to die in a alleyway. So yeah, basically, Grisha and their entire family, and of course, at that time, Grisha's family. Oh, by the way, guys, Zeke will not be born in this. I mean, there is going to be... I mean, Zeke will be there, except, here's the thing. Zeke was already born before Grisha met his wife. I think her name was Dana, or whatever her name is. I'm going to say that Zeke was already born, and Grisha was not the father. I'm sorry, guys. I just had to do that. He is not the father. No, but I'm playing, guys. Okay. Alright, so Grisha and Dana, of course, they're all there at the wall. It's at sun. Now, remember, nobody, okay, so nobody the military and the police don't know about the Darkness, so they don't know. But anyway, it's sunset, and Eren says, he whispers into Grisha's ear, he says, so how do you want to go about this? Do you want me to turn into a titan and crush them all, or do you want to wait until nightfall? And of course Grisha says, well, let's just see how this pans out. If the night can come, then, well then, the Darkness will have his meal tonight. But then, all of a sudden, you hear lightning hitting, people hitting the ground. You hear a guy screaming, and this is one of the members from Grisha's family. So anyway, his crime family, I should say, his crime family. Anyway, one of the gangsters hits the ground, transforming, and of course you see a Titan. And of course, Grisha says, wait, they're not planning on turning us into Titans, are they? And Eren says, your orders, boss. Do you want me to turn into a Titan and kill them? And Grisha says, yes, turn into the attack Titan and crush the military opposition. But first cut me free and hand me my guns. And Eren says, well, I only got one gun. He says, that's all right. Just hand me a gun. And of course, Eren Kruger cuts Grisha free, hands him a gun, and now, if you're wondering where Zeke is, he's with that old man in the manga, or in the series. So if you guys remember, if you guys know who I'm talking about, then yeah. Because Zeke turned his parents in, so, well, his stepdad and his mom in, so yeah. Because Zeke called Grisha a monster, a demon, or a devil, I should say. But anyway, that's besides the point. Well, which Zeke would be right. Whew. So yeah, guys, I'm having a lot of fun with this what if. So yeah, this is going to be one long video. Get ready for that. Alright, but anyway, Eren Kruger jumps into the water, and of course, a Titan emerges from the water. Obviously, this being Eren Kruger, destroying the ships, and Grisha shooting all the military guys before they can react and draw their weapons with his gun. Then he picks up another officer's gun, and of course, he's dual wielding, shooting all the guys down and shooting them in the head. Brains are flying everywhere, and of course, Eren Kruger kills all the remaining Marleyans, and now remember, they're already on Paradise Island. And of course, Eren gets out of his attack Titan form, and he says, so boss, so what's the plan? And Grisha says, well, we need to establish a crime, we need to establish a crime family here in the walls, so Eren, you're gonna come with me. Now, you may be wondering, what happened to Dana, his wife? Well, she got turned into a Titan before it was, and Grisha said, and the moment she was already injected with the spinal fluid, she was already kicked off the wall. Grisha shot the guy who did it, of course, you know, so yeah, she's already Titan, and already heading towards the wall. So Eren says, do you want me to take the rest of them back? Well, they don't really have a way of getting back. So Eren says, look, do you want, and Grisha says, no. I want you to pass your Titan powers on to my son. He says, do you want me to pass it on to Zeke? He said, no, not that child. I mean my own child. He'll get two of the greatest powers known in existence. He'll have the darkness, and he'll become the next darkness host, and he will also have the attack Titan power in him. But anyway, sorry about that, guys. Anyway, the darkness is immediately says, and I'm gonna try to do the voice the best I can. So, guys, I know if you're wearing headphones, this is probably gonna sound a little creepy, and it's gonna be sending shivers down your spine. But that's the whole point. So, and of course, then again, it may not faze you at all. So, and then again, it might just sound weird. So, get ready. He says, Grisha. I can't do it. I can't do it, guys. Like if you could hear the voice, that's how the darkness would sound like. But he says, but I'm just gonna try to deepen my voice as much as I can, so that way I can bring some life to the darkness. Grisha. And no, that's not how he actually sounds. It's more like Grisha. Like it sounds something like that. But I'm just gonna do Grisha. You must give birth to a son. Well, obviously, a darkness host is obviously always going to give birth to a son, so yeah. But anyway, he says, once you give birth to your son, not only will he become
the next darkness host, but he'll also have that Titan power inside of him. But once it enters your... But that's something that you Eldians were born with. So, yeah.
But anyway, Grisha says, yeah, I know. Of course, he says this in his head. He doesn't want to be talking out loud. He says, Eren, you're coming with me. And, of course, now since there ain't no ship, there ain't nothing to take anybody back. But anyway, so everybody is going off. Of course, they grab guns. Now, Grisha finds his 2 pistols that he always carries around. And, of course, he puts them into his back jeans. And, of course, he turned the safety lock on so that way the guns won't go off when he's pulling them out of his pants. So, yeah. Hold on, guys. Sorry about that, guys. I had to go take care of something. Alright, so anyway, Grisha was putting the guns in his back pants with the safety lock on. So that way nobody would... Well, so then that way the guns wouldn't go off in his pants. So, yeah, because, you know, that would suck. For anybody. Like, I don't care who you are. That would suck for anybody. Like, I don't care if you were my best friend or if you were my enemy. Shoot, that would suck for anybody. So, yeah. But anyway. Grisha and Eren... Of course, Grisha tells Eren that, you know, he's going to have to be Eren, his son's mentor, a.k.a. stepfather. Now, of course, I forgot who that... You guys... Alright, let me know in the comments down below. Who is the trainer dude who trains Eren, Mikasa, and all the other guys? So, yeah... Let me know down below in the comment section who is that. I know it starts with an S, but I don't know how to pronounce it. So leave it down in the comments down below. So yeah. Anyway, he takes them all into Wall Maria, and of course Grisha already is starting to form his new crime family, which he still has all the original members, which was pretty big. And of course he's starting to recruit some new members, and Grisha meets Carla. Yep, you guys already know where this is going. And of course Eren and Grisha talks to Eren Kruger saying, hey Eren, I'm going to name my son after you, except, you know, last name is going to be Jaeger, not Kruger. And of course now of course, the military police and the military are now made aware of a mafia family, mafia crime family, has, you know, obviously has now emerged inside the walls. Now, of course, they don't know who the leader is. So anyway, Grisha and Carla get married. Now I am going to change the age when the darkness awakens. So it's usually at the age of 21 when the darkness awakens within the host. But I'm changing it from 21 to 13. So yeah, at 13-year-old Eren is going to be basically the powerfulest being on Earth. So yeah, good luck with that, guys. You know, what happens when you get teenagers too much power? Bad stuff happens. But anyway, that's besides the point. So of course, Grisha and Carla get married. Carla is made aware of that Grisha is the crime family, and of course the Jaeger mob crime family. Of course she's also inside the mob, and of course she's the first lady because, you know, she's married to the boss. And yeah, actually they live a high, rich lifestyle, and they actually ascended to the ranks. Of course, Grisha being a politician to But he just does this for like a farce as a cover-up, so that way nobody, so that way nobody suspects him of anything. Because, nobody suspects a politician of doing anything dirty, right? And of course, I'm using the quotation with my fingers when I say politician. Don't do anything wrong. Because we all know that ain't true. Well, there are some politicians that don't do wrong. But then again, there's also crooked politicians. And of course, Grisha happens to be one of the crooked politicians. But he also happens to be the richest man in the entire kingdom. So, yeah. And of course, he's helped the Survey Corps and the military police get rid of their old muskets. And actually, they have some shotguns, some AK-47s, some Desert Eagles, some pistols here and there, assault rifles, some Uzis here and there. Now, like I said, guys, I had to make them a little bit more technologically advanced, and this is how they become technologically advanced, thanks to Grisha coming from the outside of the wall. So, yeah. Anyway, Grisha and Carla. Grisha gets Carla pregnant, obviously. Now, the moment Carla's water breaks and Eren comes out into the world, darkness goes into Eren Jaeger's body, little baby body, and of course his gender is male. Because remember, the darkness only chooses male hosts because he's a male, and yeah, he chooses male host. So he enters our little baby boy Eren Jaeger. Gender is male, so yeah. All right, so remember, guys, Eren Jaeger's gender male. He's a boy. He's a man. He's still straight because every darkness host user is. They're straight, so he's straight. He's gonna marry Mikasa. Now, if he gets her pregnant, I'm gonna say the darkness host has the ability to decide of who he wants to impregnate. So yeah. And they, and of course they decide when they want to impregnate somebody. But anyway, that's besides the point. Of course, darkness leaves Grisha's body and Grisha dies, making Eren Jaeger the new darkness host. The new darkness host. Yeah, he makes, of course, the darkness entering Eren Jaeger's body, making him the new darkness host, and of course the head leader to the Jaeger crime family as his inheritance. And of course, Eren Kruger, true to his word, he takes over for Grisha until Eren comes of age, when his darkness powers awakes. And of course, he acts as Eren's stepfather, and aka his mentor. And of course, Carla, she accepted Grisha's wish because she was actually genuinely in love with Grisha, and honoring his final wishes. Of course, Eren Kruger and Carla get married because Grisha died, and of course everybody in the entire kingdom is mourning for this politician. Now, I'm gonna say Grisha, before he died, he went to the Ackermans and he brought them in and actually gave them a seat of power. So he also, around the same time, Mikasa was born when Eren was born. Well, obviously, because they're the same age, so yeah. Anyway, but that's besides the point. So, anyway, Eren is currently 9 years old. Mikasa, she's with Eren, and Armin, he's still in the lower class, so crap happens. And of course, Eren Kruger is grooming Eren Jaeger to becoming not only the ringleader and telling him about the darkness and what's capable of and what it is and what that means to be the darkness host. But he's also grooming him to become the next Attack Titan holder. Sorry guys, hold on. But anyway, of course, he's also grooming him to become the head leader of the Jaeger mob crime family. Remember, the military police have not been has not gotten any word on the Jaeger crime family. But anyway, and of course, Eren Kruger has joined the military police in order to stay in power. Now, of course, Eren Kruger says you don't have to be a politician if you don't want to. Alright, hold on guys. I'll be right back. Sorry about that, guys. I had to take care of some business. Got some money out of it, too. So, anyway. Let's see. But Eren Kruger telling Eren Jaeger says that he doesn't have to be a politician if he doesn't want to. Of course, Eren Jaeger's saying he hates being in the walls and he hates being around all these bougie people. And yes, he does call them bougie. Now, they're still on horses, so they don't have automobiles or anything like that. They just have more advanced weaponry. That's all I'm saying. Now, Eren's saying that he wants to join the Survey Corps. Because he wants to get out, and kind of just stretch his, do whatever he wants to do. So, anyway. Eren then proceeds to, he wants to do some training. And, of course, he stays in physical, he stays in good physical condition. But anyway, it's due 2 more years. Eren is currently 12 years old. He's hanging out with Mikasa. But anyway, Eren is currently just walking around with Mikasa, saying that he can't wait until he turns 13, so that way he can join the Corps. Now, of course, he hears that, Titans have invaded Wall Maria. Now, remember, he's not in Wall Maria because he's of higher class, so he's in Wall Sina, which is the last wall. But Eren doesn't really care, and now remember, Mikasa hasn't woken to her Ackerman blood because she hasn't been put in under any stress. But Mikasa, she loves Eren, and Eren loves Mikasa. Now, Eren's actually pretty smart in this. He's like, and of course he's already getting really accustomed, because when he turns 13, the darkness will awaken, and he can, so, anyway, once he turns 13 and the darkness awakens, he'll become the head of the new, head of the Jaeger crime family. And then around that time, Eren Kruger will have Eren Jaeger eat him, so that way he can have the Titan, because his time limit is almost up. Now, anyway, and if you guys are wondering what happened to Armin got moved to Wall Rose. And sometimes Eren and Mikasa go down to Wall Rose. And Eren and Mikasa meet Armin, and they actually become really great friends. See, Eren, it doesn't let his social status actually dictate who he's allowed to be with. And if you guys are wondering, has Eren ever killed a man? Yes, he has killed multiple. Like, so Eren Kruger has already taught Eren Jaeger how to hold a gun, how to turn the safety lock off and on, how to load a clip into the gun, and of course Eren's favorite guns are pistols. But he also likes using swords because he just thinks they're really cool. And Mikasa, she trains Eren in Kendo, so Eren kind of knows how to do some pretty cool stuff. Now, Eren Kruger decides to take Eren Jaeger out to the woods. Because I'm going to say there's about like 5 more months of before Eren's birthday till, so yeah, it would be technically 3 years, but anyway, 5 more months until Eren turns 13. So, and Eren Kruger decides that Eren is ready to inherit the Attack Titan. And of course, Eren Jaeger saying, you know, he doesn't think he's ready in order to take over the family yet. And Eren Kruger says, look, Eren, I don't have that much time, and somebody needs to take over. I've seen some of the scumbags that are in our organization, and they will stop at nothing to test you and to see if you will be strong and cold-hearted as your dad was. And of course, Eren says fine. Of course, Eren Kruger injects Eren Jaeger with Titan spinal fluid. Eren turns into his Titan form. Eren eats Eren Kruger, and then Eren has now gained the Attack Titan, and of course Eren X's out of his Titan form's nape. Now, 5 months have passed. Eren Jaeger is on a hit mission. Let's just say a politician didn't pay his payment to Eren, and Eren has already taken over the crime family as the head, and all of Eren's men respect him. They respect Eren Jaeger. Matter of fact, they would follow him anywhere he went. So anyway, Eren, he's about to do a hit on one of the politicians who didn't pay his fee because Eren says, look, if you want our protection, then you're going to have to pay us. And the politician didn't pay him when he scheduled him to, well, pay the crime family. So Eren appears and he says, look, you already know why I'm here. So three things are going to happen. One, I shoot you in the head, and then I take your family for everything they got. 2, I break your frickin' legs, leave you alive, then you hand me the money that you owe me. Or 3, you hand me the money that you're supposed to give me, and I just forget that this even ever happened. And of course, the politician being stupid, saying, well, I ain't gonna let no kid tell me what to do. And of course, Eren Jaeger says that famous mafia line that we all know is love. He says, Tony, break his freaking legs. And of course, Tony breaks his freaking legs. And the guy hands him the money he's supposed to, but the downside is the politician's legs are broken, so now he has to have a wheelchair. And Eren says, well, let this be a warning. Don't screw with me. Next time you'll get a bullet in your mouth. And then, as soon as the night falls, Eren starts feeling this power surging through him. And this pain inside of his head. And then he hears a voice in it, and it says,
Eren, release the darkness.
Oh, there's the voice I've been wanting. Yeah, so anyway, he says,
release the darkness. Embrace the darkness, Eren.
and of course, Eren says, gotta release the darkness. And then, of course, Eren releases the darkness, and of course, you guys see what's happening right here. The demon heads come out of Eren's back. Darkness is all. The darkness is behind Eren's back, and the demon heads are coming out. Tendrils. And Eren says, finally, my birthright. And now, yep, Eren has finally decided that he thinks it's time. And of course, the darkness goes back into Eren. The darkness dissipates. And then the darkness says to Eren, and it says,
so who are we going to eat today? Who are we going to tear apart first? Who are we going to tear apart first, huh, Eren?
And then Eren says, don't worry, you'll get your blood. You'll eat those hearts. So anyway, Eren then goes up to Mikasa and he tells his mom, Mom, I don't want to be a politician. And of course, Carla says, that's fine. You're the head of the Jaeger crime family. You decide whatever you want to do. And Eren says, fine, me and Mikasa are going into the Survey Corps. And she says, Survey Corps? Why are you going into the Survey Corps? And then Eren says, because I'm tired of living inside of these walls. I want to tear these titans apart, limb from limb. Now remember, it's still nighttime outside. And of course, the darkness is whispering in Eren's head and saying,
don't let that wench tell you what to do, Eren. Or otherwise we can rip her apart.
And Eren then decides to say, no, she won't do anything. Then, of course, the darkness says,
fine. Fine. Raise the dog.
So, anyway, Eren and Mikasa and Armin decided to join the army. Which, this will still give Eren some pull, because Eren's hoping to rise through the ranks pretty fast. And he will rise through the ranks pretty fast. So, anyway. Eren is currently, walking towards, the training grounds with his training uniform on. And of course, I'm going to try to Sadis, yeah, Sadis, that's his name, Sadis says, all right, why does everybody want to be here? And he turns to Eren. He says, Eren Jaeger, huh? Son of the politician Grisha Jaeger? Son of the late politician Grisha Jaeger. And then Eren says, yes, sir. He says, so why does a groomed little brat like you want to join the army? And Eren says, to rip the Titans apart. And he says, well, how could you possibly know what the Titans are when you've never left the safety of the inner walls. Eren says, look, I'm tired of that politician, of that bougie lifestyle. And Sadis says, well, I guess you still got a long ways to go, but it looks like you might be able to make it. And of course, he attempts to headbutt Eren in the head, except Sadis winds up, well, hurting his head because, you know, the darkness enhancing his strength. And it's daylight, but the darkness can still enhance the host's strength without it coming out. But it can only enhance it for a little bit. The darkness actually has to come out, and the armor has to envelop Eren's body. But anyway, that's besides the point. Eren is currently... He says, alright, so first today we are going to be gun training. This is going to be a cakewalk for Eren. Eren just says, alright, choose... He says, you guys can get 2 guns. Particularly a handgun or an assault rifle. But Eren, he does what he likes to do best. Go with the dual handguns. He likes to dual wield 2 handguns. And of course, Eren picks up 2 handguns. He says, Eren Jaeger, why do you want to use those 2 handguns? Eren says, well, one, I've already used 2 handguns and I already know how to use them pretty well. He says, alright, shoot all these moving targets and bullseye them. And of course, all these flying targets, and Eren bullseye every last one of them. He either gets headshots or heart shots, and he's just going ba 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 ba, and then he quickly unloads the clips. Like, so if you've ever seen like how Alucard reloads his clips, and he just like quickly like turns around, and like he has like clips on his backside. He just kind of clicks those in there, and he cocks the gun back into place, like, but he does it like really quick. And he just starts continuously doing this, and he's like a master. And he, like, if you've ever seen the movie Wanted, he can even curve bullets. So yeah, Eren's that good with the handguns. So he's going ba 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 ba, and of course this is shocking everybody, including Mikasa, because she didn't know Eren could do that, because she never really seen Eren hold a handgun before or anything with a gun. And Eren's just going ba 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 ba, and he's like turning the handguns into different angles. He's doing it horizontally, vertically, crisscross, side to side. He's just doing everything. Like, he's just doing it from different angles. And then he starts curving bullets. Like, he starts hitting targets behind trees, and they're hitting their targets, either headshots or heart shots. And he's just going ba 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 ba. And then he even sees like a Titan, and he just like bam. And of course, now it doesn't necessarily do much, but I'm gonna say he put an exploding round in one of the clips, and this happened to be one of the exploding rounds, and bam, destroys the entire it destroys the entire Titan's nape, the entire Titan's neck. And everybody's just like surprised, and they're like, and even Sadis says, yeah, I got nothing, and he just says, congratulations, you just basically demolished this entire course, because Eren is a master with handguns. Oh, and Eren Jaeger can also go for advice to previous Darkness hosts and ask how he can, do stuff, or how they would go about it, and of course other stuff like that. Now Eren, he's basically evil. I mean, he's a bad guy. I mean, he basically does he doesn't take the drugs, he just moves drugs. And he also has and of course he does hits, he kills people. Does it basically for a living. And he also, let's just say this, yeah, he owns a lot of bars, both in Wall Cena and Wall Rose. It would have been Wall Maria, but Wall Maria has been taken by Titans. Thanks to the Colossal and Armor Titan, which we all know is Reiner and Bertholdt. But anyway, moving on. Oh, and by the way, Eren Kruger did get the Founding Titan before the Titans invaded Wall Maria. So yeah, Eren still has both Attack Titan and Founding Titan powers, and he's still the Darkness host. So he has access to the darkness and yeah, all that. So yeah, Eren's going to be very overpowered, and I'm going to enjoy this. But anyway, Eren, and of course, Sadis decides to hand them, says, well, you're good with guns, but let's see how well you're good with your blades. And Eren's expertly good at it. He's not a master at it. He's an expert on it, but he hasn't mastered it completely. Basically, almost any weapon that he comes in contact to, he can basically pick up on it with relative ease. So, yeah. And Eren's also intelligent, so he's also good with battle strategies, seeing the weakness in your opponents, and he's also good with hand-to-hand combat. So, he's even developed his own martial arts style. Like, it takes the basic principles of karate, Wing Chun, and let's see, I want to say Taekwondo. I want to say Thai boxing. Yeah, so he's developed his own little fighting style that nobody's ever seen before, so nobody knows how to really counter it. Eren is going up against Annie. And Mikasa, I'm going to say during one of the training moments, she had one of her stressful moments, and her Ackerman blood awakened, and of course, after that, she started doing everything excellent. But Eren is fighting up against Annie. And Eren says you can use a real weapon if you want to. Make this a little bit more challenging for me. And, of course, Annie decides to do so. And Eren, having class he says, now look, I don't want to put... He's like, I ain't going to hit a woman, but I am going to disarm said woman. And, of course, Eren does. He does it. Eren has a thing about hitting women. Unless they're either real scumbags, or they're coming at him, but he doesn't want to hurt them if they're coming at him. He can just disarm them and knock them out without having to actually hurt them. Because that kind of goes against everything that, that he believes. That goes against one of his moral codes. He refuses to hit women. Unless they're going to either kill him, or they're scumbags and they need to be put down. Oh yeah, and I'm just going to, for an example, one of the bullies at Eren and Mikasa's school. Well, let's just say one of them were trying to get frisky with Mikasa. Eren slams the bully's head into the wall and starts stomping and he curb stomp him. He puts his mouth on the steps, and if you guys know what I'm talking about, and if you've ever seen this, but basically this move can either kill you or put you in a hospital. I'm just saying. He puts his mouth and he curb stomp him, and it doesn't kill him, but it does put him in the hospital. And of course, doctors had to surgically restructure his face and everything else. Meanwhile, Eren says, okay, what to do now? And of course, Eren has beaten Annie 6 times. Reiner says, alright, Eren, I think I can take you on. And of course, Reiner tries to hit Eren, and Eren just simply knocks him out. He throws like a right, he throws like a fake right, and then Reiner of course uses both of his hands to block the fake right. However, leaving his chin completely exposed. Eren follows up with a left uppercut and stuns Reiner's, causing him to wobble around. And let's just say, if you guys ever seen WWE and you've seen Stone Cold Steve Austin do a Stone Cold Stunner, yeah, Eren basically does that. Except he kicks Reiner in the, in his area that men don't like getting hit at. But he hits him really hard, and then of course he brings Reiner's neck, and his throat hits Eren's elbow, and of course Reiner just does like a complete backflip and lands completely on his face, and he's just completely knocked out. Like, he's out. He's KO'd. He's asleep. It's gonna be a while for him to get back up. Anyway, moving on. Eren then decides, all right, who else wants to take me on? And let's just say this: John just hates Eren because he thinks that Eren thinks he's better than everybody else. And John says, "I'm gonna shrink you down a size." And of course, he comes coming at Eren, and Eren just grabs John's wrist, twists it, and all you just hear is a snap. And of course, John's on the floor, but he just all Eren did was just really dislocate it. That's really all he did. He didn't really break his wrist or anything like that. Though I hate John. But anyway, but this kind of just tells everybody that Eren is the top dog here at this academy. And anyways, Eren has already mastered the ODM gear along with Mikasa. So right now, Eren and Mikasa are kind of like neck and neck at first. So Sadis, he just makes Eren and Mikasa take an IQ test. Well, not really an IQ test. He just has them take a test of battle strategy. Both of them get perfect scores, and he's like, gosh, there has to be something that separates one of them. Mikasa's, of course, this is when Sadis decides, okay, let's see how quick they are at making decisions. Decision making is important for a commander, because there's going to be some missions that I'm going to say Sadis asks them which corps do they want to go in, and of course Eren and Mikasa say they want to go into the Survey Corps along with Armin. So Sadis gives Eren and Mikasa a decisions test, basically to see how quick and how good they are at doing decisions. So he gives them a scenario, and they have to make quick decisions and explain how they arrived and came to that decision, showing. And since Mikasa, since she's not a darkness host, and she can't necessarily, she can make quick decisions, but sometimes she lets her emotions get out of control. Eren knows how to control his emotions. So of course, Eren being hurt, and this is how Sadis decides to grade them, and Eren is the first place and Mikasa is second place. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna say Eren goes back to like, he gets messages via bird from the crime family. Of course, Eren hands them he writes down their assignments. Well, he writes down what they're supposed to be doing for their next job, and the payments that they need to collect on. And of course, he gives them the usual rundown. Nobody pays, either break their legs or kill them all and take all their money, or they just give them the third option. You know, give us the money and we won't have to do anything to you. And of course, he sends it back because remember, he's still the head of a crime family, so he still needs to run that and manage that. Carla Jaeger, she's a politician, so she's giving Eren even more control, more leverage. And yeah. And for right now, guys, I think this is a good spot to leave this at. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like, comment down below, subscribe, turn that bell notification on, share this with all your friends on your social media platforms. And if I didn't, well, anyway, turn that bell notification on so that way you guys can stay updated every time when I post my videos. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Tell me what you guys think about it. If you guys thought it was cool. I'm going to continue this series. I had a lot of fun doing it. So, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and see you guys later. Peace out.